Now, Jurassic World already has mammoth expectations to meet after the ever-so-successful Jurassic Park, and in being a sequel that is released in the modern era, it of course decides to go larger. And in doing so, we get to witness not only a genetically modified dinosaur in order to be a new attraction and threat to the newly envisioned theme park, but we also do get to see a strange reflection on the whole idea of going larger itself. And you do realize, whether ironically or intentionally, that in going ever so large, whether it's within the story of the film or the filmmakers making Jurassic World itself, it ultimately becomes the bane of its own existence. Notwithstanding the fact that this is one hell of an adventure that really does take its time to ease you into what becomes some of the most intense moments I've seen on film all year, some of the most horrifying scenes that I believe should be seen on the biggest screen possible. The visual effects coupled with the sound really make this incredibly bizarre situation all the more believable. And even though the film gets larger and faster as it tends to go along, it doesn't fail to pay good attention to detail. Of course, that of the theme park owner that wants to play more on the nostalgia of the audience in making a very typical theme park in some sense, and their more corporate, money-driven idea as compared to those others trying to be in control simply on the side of safety, that make for some incredibly thrilling moments in what is really a conflict of control among various different parties. All of this makes for a really interesting behind-the-scenes conflict for what is really happening on screen. And I guess that is a bit of an issue considering what was happening within the conflict of the human beings seemed to be more interesting than the conflict between the human beings and the dinosaurs themselves, really making the film a little imbalanced since it focused on the latter. Nonetheless, it doesn't fail to give that very important message of how humans tend to interfere in nature an awful lot, and such interference can ultimately lead to our own destruction, leading to a surprising amount of depth in what is actually simply described as a family adventure film. Because the film really does use its grandiose elements to its advantage, making it really feel like such a fun theme park, as well as having some incredibly gorgeous looking intense moments with the dinosaurs, of course, making you feel a part of this adventure that should be unrealistic, but much like the original Jurassic Park, feels real to you. And with some great performances to back that up, this film really manages to push the nostalgic factor towards you, but not make that the only factor that it really hinges on, making this a non-stop thrill ride. And every beat of the film flows consistently from one to the next, making it feel not just part of the same film, but making it have an ever so smooth progression in this story that is, for the last time I shall say, a hell of a lot of fun. I would encourage you to watch this on the biggest screen possible, simply because this is an adventure unlike any other, much reminiscent of the original Jurassic Park, and much bigger even at times. I'm gonna give Jurassic World a double yes.